baby, I'm a hit.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Legit.
would you give a warm welcome
Better give me room.
for the soon-to-be legendary
Jamie New.
Me? Sorry, miss. Just daydreaming.
Hola, ¿cómo están? How are you guys? Welcome to Chicago.
Yeah, good, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so excited that you guys are visiting our city to bring a beautiful movie. It's so beautiful. Max, let's start with you. Tell me, how does it feel to come to Chicago to present the movie?
Wild, crazy, and unexpected. I mean, we made this film in a shed in Goldthorpe, which is in the north of England, so to be in a nice hotel miles and miles away from home is just unreal. It's crazy.
And Lauren, have you guys tried the pizza? I know that you guys were at the Bean yesterday or something like that.
The Bean, yeah.
We took a big trip to see the Bean. It was great. We haven't tried the pizza yet, but we've got one more day, and so I feel like it's a must-do, isn't it?
You guys have to. It's delicious.
Pretty. I got something to show you. You gotta swear not to tell anyone.
Tell anyone what?
I want to be a drag queen.
Oh my days.
And Jonathan, let me ask you. When I was a kid, everybody wanted to be an actor, a singer, a dancer. But how cool is that now kids want to be drag queens?
It's kind of amazing, you know. I think drag is out there for young people. Particularly, it's now in people's homes because of RuPaul. He's brought it right to everybody, so it feels accessible. It feels like something you can do, and for young people, it's a way of kind of expressing themselves in a new and then kind of radical way in some ways.
And speaking of RuPaul, I was recently watching the Kinky Boots movie from 2006, and it's the drag culture in the movie is so different to before RuPaul. So how do you think that drag queens have changed the LGBTQ culture in the last 10 years?
I think that drag more than ever, especially now in the last sort of 5 years, has been informing fashion in like a huge way. I think these people that go on this show, especially RuPaul's Drag Race, work with amazing designers, and you know their silhouettes catch waves in the fashion world more than ever. I think that drag is really, you know, a huge fashion moment at the minute as well.
And it's also because it's out there, it's pushing the conversation. It's actually pushing the conversation about be who you want to be. You know, whether that's drag, whether that's being a dancer, whether that's being anything, whether that's being a doctor, for instance. You know, I think our story is about taking your place in the world and being yourself, being unafraid to be yourself, and finding a safe space in which you can be yourself. And I think drag pushes that right into people's very centre of expressing themselves in a kind of glorious way. Glorious and fabulous way.
Yeah.
Stop waiting for permission to be you.
If I don't say it enough, you're the best friend a boy who sometimes wants to be a girl could ever wish for.
And Lauren, let me ask you, you guys are so young, both of you, and the three of you are so young.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel when you see on TikTok or when you see on Instagram people your age expressing their gender identity or their artistic identity? And like, because when I was little, we couldn't do that.
Yeah, I think that it's making me like, obviously every generation has its flaws, but I think that the groups that I see from our generation make me really, really proud and very hopeful for the future, because you know, in 10, 20 years we're going to be the people who are making the decisions, and hope that we continue to make ones that people from the generations before us have made.
Mom, do you ever wish I were just normal?
No. And what's normal anyway?
And Jonathan, let me ask you, the mom, Jamie's mom in the movie, she's a saint. What's the best advice that you can give parents to support their kids when it comes to gender identity, artistic expression?
You say Margaret's a saint, you know, in many ways Margaret would say she's not a saint, she's just an ordinary woman. She's an ordinary mother supporting her son to be whoever he wants to be. And it's complex for parents, you know, and Jamie's 16, so he's just starting to discover who he is, where his place is in the world. And for a mom, that's a scary time because you're going to let go. It's a fledgling leaving the nest. So I think the centre of it is love, of course. And that's when I first saw the documentary that inspired me to create this thing. That's what struck me more than anything, is the love that Margaret had for her son and the support that she had for her son.
She's a saint as a gay guy. As a gay kid, I was like, I love her. I was tearing up, I was crying, and she reminded me of my mom because she has always been supported. So I love that.
It's one of those things as well, like with parents or people, you know, when you're trying to, when they're coming into contact with things that they don't know about, is that I suppose, you know, parents and people that are going to listen to you and empathise with your experience. And I suppose if you're watching the film, you're doing that in a way, because you're furthering your knowledge of, you know, queer culture, I guess. In a way.
And also, it is generational. The story is generational. It's about young 16-year-olds, but it's also about the generation before them. And in some ways, the conversation, they're trying to catch up. In many ways, the conversations move forwards, and they've got to take their own time and their own process to catch up. And I think Margaret really is doing that as well. The centre of it is her love and support, though.
So, why do you want to be a drag queen?
Because it's all I ever dream of. And when I close my eyes, it's all I can see.
You just found yourself a mentor.
Yeah, yes, please.
And finally, I have to ask you guys, Richard E. Grant, who I love, says in the movie, do what you want to do, be who you want to be. What does it mean? What does that mean to you guys?
I would say just not apologising for anything that I, not for anything that I do, that's but you know what I mean, for like just being yourself and not being apologetic about that.
But it's a process being yourself. You're always discovering. You never kind of arrive. For me, it's more about the people around you, creating a space in which you can do that safely and explore who you are. Because you never I know I'm a lot older than these are. Thank you very much for saying that. I feel very young, and I'm still in that place that you kind of go, who am I? Where do I take my place in the world? This is my first film. You know, that was a scary experience. So you discover yourself all the time.
Yeah.
So, like Richard, just finding yourself, being yourself, but in a safe place to do that.
I think sometimes as well we have to be reminded of that, and that, you know, when someone says to you, know, be who you want to be, it's like, for me, that line is, you know, I think Jamie, in many ways, especially in the first portion of the film, thinks he knows who he wants to be, and I think needs reminding that it's okay. So I think for me, it serves as a reminder to do that, and like you say, to do that unapologetically.
That's beautiful, I love it. Guys, thank you so much for bringing the movie to our city. Muchas gracias. I can't wait to share it with everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.